Here's a segment from a recent Gun Talk radio episode. You can listen to all the Gun Talk radio podcasts however you tune in, or check out guntalk.com for more. Okay, we love our range reports here. People calling in, telling us what they've been shooting, what they've been doing. And then we got to thinking, wait a minute. We shoot a lot of guns at Gun Talk. We get a lot of cool stuff in, and now we're having classes that we're holding over at Range Ready Studios. Why don't we do a Range Ready Range Report segment? And so that's what we're going to do. Bringing in right now the head honcho over at Range Ready Studios and Gun Talk Media, Ryan Gresham, joins us now, fresh from his class on reloading. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, how was that class? You just finished the 2-day class on reloading, the first one you guys have held. Was it Galen taught that?
So let's see, Hodgson Intro to Reloading with Gavin Gear. And yes. Gavin, if people don't know Gavin is the host of Ultimate Reloader. He's got a YouTube channel. And, yeah, his real name is Gavin Gear. I had to ask him that one. But it was, we're hearing about so many people wanting to either get into reloading ammo or get back into it, and for a lot of different reasons. So we thought we'd host a class, and this was a class that was sponsored by several great companies. Lyman, Hodgson Powder, Nosler provided the bullets, and MTM Case Guard. And so what was cool about this is the students of this class just showed up. You didn't need to bring anything with you. All of the powder was there from Hodgson, bullets from Nosler, and all the gear from Lyman and MTM. And the first day, we covered some basics and did reloading of 9mm, both 115 grain and then 147 grain subsonic. And then the second day, we did 223 and did a couple different loads there. And it was really a great class.
Were you using single-stage presses? I'm assuming you were, not progressives.
Correct. It was single-stage presses, which I think is a great starting point, right? I mean, so many people may start there and then move into a turret press, which is sort of the next part up, or a progressive press if you're getting into some volume of really trying to crank out a lot of ammo. And there were a couple guys there that did this and said, we're just going to jump right into a progressive press. And actually, Gavin said, there's nothing wrong with doing that. If your motivation is loading lots of ammo for the range, 9 and 223 and those types of cartridges, why not? Just jump in there and start cranking out ammo.
Well, exactly. If your goal is to have a lot of ammo to shoot, then a progressive makes a lot of sense. If, on the other hand, you do like I do, where my interest in loading is more tinkering and coming up with cool different loads and trying different things for my rifles and particularly my big bore revolvers, then I'm doing different loads. That's where a single stage press makes it a lot easier to switch over and change your powder loads, change your bullets and all of that. So if you're changing a lot, single stage or turret, but yeah, if you were going to just set up and say, I just need massive quantities to go bang, then progressive's a great way to go. So how did the people, I was just going to ask you, the people in the class, what kind of experience levels did they have?
We had folks who had really done no reloading to some reloading, and I would say because this was a bit of like an intro, kind of the essentials to know of reloading, we didn't have some super experienced reloaders. And I mean, if we did, I guess Gavin could have gone there with them. We could go into really interesting, talking about the nodes of ballistics and testing a lot of different interesting things. But this was intended to be an intro class. And I think you're right. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to enjoy reloading, whether that's working up a special load that shoots better in your gun, because you can mess around with different factory loads. But if you have a favorite precision rifle or hunting gun, it's going to like certain loads better than others. It's going to like certain bullets better than others. And you can play with that and customize it. And frankly, it's just another way to enjoy being a gun enthusiast and enjoy shooting.
Well, that's a good way to put it. It's another activity involved with the shooting sports that you can get into. And kind of like a lot of the other stuff, there's really no end to how deeply you can dive into this pool.
Absolutely. And there may be, once you start getting into it, then you start thinking about, well, actually, I'd like to shoot this bullet because my gun shoots very accurately with it, or I like the way it performs for hunting. And maybe it's hard to find that bullet, or maybe you want to start thinking about shooting a caliber cartridge that it's harder to find ammo for, and you can load it.
Well, yeah, you may find something on the shelf of the local gun store. You go, 7x57. I know about it, but it's a little bit harder to find ammo for it. But if I could load my own ammo, I can get that. I could get a 6.5 Remington Magnum that nobody wants to buy off the shelf because you can't find ammo for it. But I could make ammo.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. There may be some deals out there because you say, I'm not worried about being able to find ammo. I will make the ammo.
All right, so you loaded ammo, and then, of course, because you're Range Ready Studios, you walk out of the classroom, and you're standing on a range. So did you guys shoot the ammo that you loaded?
Absolutely, yeah. We loaded up the ammo, we walk out back, and we had, for both times, we had several different guns and a couple different chronographs, so we could even more geek out on what we've just done. So day one, we brought out our 9mm loads, and we shot it we had an HK VP9, we had a Smith & Wesson M&P competition metal gun, and we also had a Springfield Armory Prodigy double stack 1911 in 9mm, which was interesting because people got to shoot the different guns, see how the ammo performed. One of the little interesting tidbits I'll tell you is, in general, trying to make this apples to apples, the HK VP9 was a 4-inch barreled gun. And, of course, longer barrels typically give you more velocity. The other two guns were 5-inch barreled guns. But HK has a deal with the way they cut their barrels and their rifling that they claim to give you a little bit more velocity out of your bullets. And I kind of was joking around. I said, I don't know if that's marketing speak or whatever, but that's what they say. Would you know, when we shot that through these different guns on chronographs, the 4-inch HK actually did give us a little bit more velocity. And those are the types of things that just end up being fun little exercises when you start getting into more than just simply buying a gun, buying some ammo, and shooting it. Now you're chronoing, you're developing your own loads, and you can have a whole new experience with shooting on the range.
God, it sounds like a wonderful time. Are you going to do this reloading class again sometime?
It looks like we are, yes. It'll probably be second half of the year. So if you're thinking, man, I missed it, I want to do this. And I mean, even if you know a few things about reloading, there were about half the class had done some reloading, but still got a ton out of it. And if you want to get deep into the weeds, Gavin's a guy who said, yeah, we can go there. We can go into 6mm dasher and the way I load that, just all kinds of interesting things. And so, yeah, second half of the year, we'll do another reloading class. And then we have a bunch of other classes coming up at Range Ready this year.
Okay, rangereadystudios.com. Hey, Ryan, hold on a second. I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk about some of the other things you guys have been doing. You get a lot of guns in there to test, to do videos on. It's like the rack there. You never know what's going to be in there or what has been set back, so you try to go shoot it when you can. So when we come back, we're going to have our own Range Ready Studios range reports, and Ryan's going to run us through a few of the guns that they've been getting in and kind of their impressions of them. If you want to join us, 866-TALK-GUN. We're talking with Ryan Gresham from Gun Talk Media, Range Ready Studios, all the videos, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos the folks do there with their whole complete team, and they get tons of guns going through there. They get to, I'd say, play with them. This is important, very difficult work, Ryan. I know it is.
It's hard, but somebody's got to do it. You get all these guns in, and dang it, you got to go out and shoot them.
So what have you guys been getting in? What kind of catches your eye?
Well, let's see. We probably talked about it a few weeks ago, but we have it in and want to do some more shooting with it. The new 5.7 pistol from Smith & Wesson, the M&P in 5.7 by 28. The more I shoot that, the pistols in that configuration, I just really like it. I mean, it packs a punch downrange. It doesn't have a lot of recoil. It makes a loud noise, which is fun. One of the things that we goofed around when we were at SHOT Show at Smith & Wesson's Range Day when they were demoing these guns. And we said, gosh, there's just not much recoil to this. And because we could, and because we're in an indoor range, and because it doesn't have a lot of recoil, I decided to dual wield it at the range, which is completely ridiculous, but it's amazing shooting one pistol in the right hand, one in the left hand, going back and forth. You could control it. You could hit stuff. It was really fun. One thing that I would be interested to see, and I'm just going to lay it out there for any gun manufacturer, is I'd love to see a 5.7 pistol in a little bit more compact package. And one person told me they didn't think it could happen because of the slide velocity and it changes, the functioning of the gun.
Right.
But, I'm just a mere talking monkey on TV and radio and stuff. And I'm sure there's an engineer out there who can figure this out. I'd love to see a compact 5.7 as a carry gun. Well,
as we like to say, that's a you problem. Just make it work.
Yeah, it's not my problem. You guys go figure it out. Go do that engineer stuff. Get up your CAD drawings and make one.
Yeah, just do that thing you do. It's fine. We just want it. There you go.
I shot that.
Yeah, I shot that pistol. It is really comfortable. I was not prepared for how much I liked it.
Yes. So, we got that one in. One we got in, and I haven't shot it yet. We'll probably be shooting it this week. Is Remington came out with their new cartridge, the 360 Buckhammer, and we got a Henry lever action in, which seems like a perfect pairing. So we're going to shoot that Henry lever action with the Remington Buckhammer ammo, 360 Buckhammer, straight wall cartridge. That should be a lot of fun. I'm interested to see what that does. Right. Also got a new Vortex scope in. It's a 3 to 18 power. Has a little illuminated dot in it. It also has, you can get it, I think, with MRAD or MOA reticle in there. But not a giant scope, but going up to 18 power but still going down to 3 power gives you a lot of options. I think it could be a really good hunting scope, especially maybe a Western hunting scope, or if you're hunting big fields.
Well, there's another thing it will do for you that I don't know that we pay much attention to, but we should. And that is, it makes it so much easier when you're at the range developing loads. When you got more magnification in your scope, you're simply more precise. And then if you want, you can dial it back down. So you don't have to have like a target scope if you want to do serious load development and then take that off and put your hunting scope on. You got one scope that'll do it all.
True. And I'll tell you, another trend I'm seeing, and there's a few people doing it. One of the ones we saw at SHOT Show, I think it was Swarovski, has what I'm calling mini spotting scopes. And the form factor, the size of these is they're really small, and they're still in the, like going up to 40 power as a spotting scope, but it's not really any bigger than a hunting scope. So I think it gives you options as far as how, if you were able to carry a mini spotting scope in your pack, maybe you say, well, I don't need a 12 or 14 power binoculars. Maybe I'll just run with some 10 power binos, and then I can bust out this little mini spotter if I want to get on stuff. Same thing with your rifle scope, right? If you said, I don't have to have as big of a rifle scope, because there are people who hunt with like 5 to 20s and stuff like that.
Right.
Because they want to be able to see stuff. It's not about hitting stuff. It's about getting a better look at the target or the animal. So I think that's another thing. One other thing that it's just, I don't know how to describe it, but it's just fun, is Trailblazer Firearms has the Life Card, is what they call it. And the Life Card is a folding single-shot 22 caliber pistol that is no bigger than a stack of credit cards.
Whoa!
It's 5 inch. It's 0.5 inches thin, weighs less than 7 ounces, and it folds out. It literally folds up and looks like the size of a stack of credit cards or a deck of cards. Really, probably smaller than a deck of cards. It's and it's a single-shot 22. Now they're introducing it with a threaded barrel, just because if it's goofy, let's make it goofier.
It is goofy. Let's make it goofier. Yeah, I like this.
So that's just a fun one. It's not terribly expensive. It's just kind of a fun interesting thing. If you like just interesting, because I know people go, well, what's the point of this? This isn't a good use for self-defense. Okay, sure, whatever. But there can be also the reason to own a gun is because it's fun and different, and it makes you giggle, and you can show your friends and family.
Well, I was just going to say, and when you get to the range and you're out shooting with your buddies, you go, hey, guys, take a look at this. You pull that out, and everybody goes, what the heck is that thing?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep, there's value in that.
That's an interesting one. Yeah, Trailblazer Firearms is the one making that one.
All right. What else is coming through?
Well, there's going to be more stuff. There's some new stuff coming. Honestly, there's a new one coming this week that we can't talk about yet from a major manufacturer. So,
and I like the looks. I like the looks of it. I got to tell you that.
Yes. There's some innovation happening, and there's some. It's not the lipstick on a pig situation. So that's fantastic. The SHOT Show is not the only time these companies are releasing new product anymore. It's really throughout the year as things are ready to go. And a lot of these companies are planning it that way. They know they're going to release one every month or one every quarter or whatever. So it's kind of, you always have to be on the lookout. But we'll be releasing videos and stuff. So if you go to guntalk.com, you can sign up for our email newsletter or go check out guntalktv.com to kind of get the latest on what we're doing.
Right. And of course, you got a team there, so they're always going out to the range. And now that you've got the range literally right next to the studio, you shoot the studio, you walk outside, shoot the guns, come back in, put the video together, and it's out there. So you got a real quick turnaround, which for a lot of us is valuable to say, okay, I just heard about this thing. I'd love to see it in action. You go, yeah, well, we've got it. There's the video.
It's a beautiful thing. We can just go out there and shoot it. And I think something else that we're going to be doing is we've been going through old guns, old ammo, fun, weird stuff that we have around, and trying to cover some of that stuff too, because the new gear is always good, but that's the nice thing about guns is quote unquote old stuff is still fun too, and it doesn't expire. I mean, it's just always new stuff to talk about, even if it's old stuff.
And of course, in moving into the new facilities, you had to clean out the old facilities, and you had a lot of, holy cow, look at this thing. Who even knew we had this ammo? Oh, yeah.
It'd be interesting to know the different varieties. I mean, how many different types of, 9mm or 223 can you imagine from different companies, different loads? I mean, it might be 100. I don't know. It's a lot.
Yeah, you put somebody on that. You need an intern to go count that stuff. Hey, Ryan, look, thank you so much for spending some time with us and sharing this. Let's get you back on, or some of your team back on. We'll do range-ready range reports as often as you want.
I appreciate it, yeah. And look, come take a class, either with us or with somebody. But if you've never done a multi-day shooting class, you don't know what you don't know. And you're going to go, holy crap, I really needed this, and I didn't even know I needed it.
That's a great way to put it. I really needed it, and I didn't know I needed it. Again, Ryan Gresham from Gun Talk. Thanks so much. Check it out, guntalk.com and rangereadystudios.com. The latter one is where you go to get the lineup on the classes that are being offered.